Namaste everyone, I'm Kiyan Kapur and I'm here with Dr. Sonali Shinde. Dr. Sonali ma'am is an extremely inspiring person. She's not only an Ayurvedic doctor, but she also leads an NGO that actually adopts 12 villages every year and promotes health, education, water conservation and organic farming. Ma'am, thank you so much for the lovely visit of your wellness center called Aarogya Bhumi. It was truly a pleasure. Ma'am, I'm a science student and I want to create a video series to showcase India's traditional knowledge on well-being systems. So ma'am, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself? And as the whole world is talking about Ayurveda right now, could you please tell us a little bit about its magic?
Yes. So namaste. I must congratulate you because at a very young age you are looking at this to our ancient wisdom which needs to be explored by so many people today.
Yes.
You know, the Western world is looking at us for this wisdom, and we should, educate the whole world about yoga and Ayurveda. So I'm very happy that I chose this path because it is a science of life. Ayurveda means Ayu is the life and Veda is the knowledge. So this is a very ancient wisdom and which should get spread all over the world. And I started my journey back, I passed out in 94 and so many of Ayurvedic people practice allopathy medicine. But then I went to Kerala, I got a glimpse of Ayurveda there and then I decided that I must, practice Ayurveda. So seeing is believing. So whenever you see the results, the patient is getting treated, benefited, then you know that this science works. So that's what needs to be done today also, It's a practical science. Ayurveda is just not in the books. It is to be practiced. And the preventive part of Ayurveda is one which I like very much because first thing is we should prevent the disorders. So 80% of Ayurvedic knowledge is on prevention base. And the beauty of Ayurveda is it talks about everything, like about how you are born, what is happiness, and how sadness comes, what is the cause of the disease. So all answers, even your there are so many challenges now we face with mental disorders.
Right.
So all these are answered in Ayurvedic science. So that's how, and I started my practice in Pune by the name of Kerala Ayurveda because I was very much impressed with the Kerala therapies. And since then, I had visitors from Brazil who came to learn Ayurveda. So that was very nice that when you want to teach someone, you learn more. So that's how I started my journey. Then I visited Germany, France, Brazil. I set up Ayurveda centers there. And I believe that many times wherever it flourishes, people don't have the value for this.
Right.
And in the Western countries, they have a lot of higher this thing for Ayurveda.
Yes.
So they go for natural medicine first.
Right.
And so it was very nice to work in the Western world. And then now since last 10 years, I go to Brazil every year. I do consultations, I conduct nutrition workshops because nutrition is another part of Ayurveda which talks about the spices, their medicinal properties, and then I take women health workshops. So we work on various subjects of Ayurveda and dinacharya, the daily routine in Ayurveda.
Okay.
So, and then we started this center also. First I had practice in Pune, then my father and mother started this non-profit organization which was working with water, but then we also did, because health is also important aspect when we work in the rural areas. Then we started this center with a motto that we want to go from local to global. No? So local people also should get benefited with what we are doing, and globally people should come here to learn about Ayurveda and experience.
That's fabulous, ma'am. And just building on that, could you tell us how you discovered the Kusum Modak methodology?
So in 2013, I met Kusum through my relative. She was a very good friend of hers. And long time I was hearing about Kusum and her work, but I never got an opportunity to meet her. And then when I met her, she was going to conduct a workshop, and she said you must join this. And then I did a 10 days course. So that was the first time I took a long break in my practice also, and it was a wonderful technique because I did Ayurveda, Panchakarma, many modalities in Ayurveda with the massage therapies. But this is one of its unique, very deep, and which is she has united the science of yoga and Ayurveda together, and she developed her own technique. So I think this was some spark inside her, which has turned out into this Kusum Modak method of. So it's a healing method, very strong and powerful, where the person also has to assist you.
Yes.
So when the massage is done on the floor, so it is very simple. If the table is not needed, the materials used are just sesame oil and the calamus powder. But the knowledge you have to know. So she says like the patient's body is your book. So you know the natural body where there are stiffness, where there is the curves are changed. So you give different stretches, yoga stretches. So it works on vital energy and breathing.
Yes.
So and then the patient also helps you when you are doing the therapy. And there are more than 120 stretches. And so it opens the chest, the breathing improves, and this vital energy goes to all cells of the body. And it's a complete session of 1.5 hours where it's head to toe massage with this. And after that, the patient is completely relaxed, the person. And there are different tractions also, like towel traction for the lumbar pains, for spondylitis, for frozen shoulder. So there are many stretches for that.
So now you spoke about how there's not too much material required to carry it out. It's simple that way. Then there's less oil used, just sesame oil, calamus powder. Could you just tell us what you think makes it really unique? Why you chose to kind of expand on?
Yes, and also the results are very quick, and you don't need so many things, So it's just your knowledge. And also after the session the person books the next appointment. So they get benefited so much. So they tell immediate what the person should get relief. That is the aim of any therapy. So that's what we see with this method. But more and more people need to be trained in this practice because it is a lot of physical effort for the therapist also. So you cannot do more than 2-3 treatments per day. So, and you need your good physical stamina, your own fitness also matters. So that is the thing. And now the Modak Institute is registered. So they have a very nice manual, and we conduct. So Aarogya Bhumi is one of the centers where the training happens. So every year we have 2-3 trainings happening. So we want more and more people to come, learn this technique and spread this beautiful work. And Kusum Modak is now 86-year-old.
Oh wow!
And she has lived a life that you can meet her and just see. Then you will come to know her fitness. Now at this age also she practices 1 hour yoga.
Wow!
So I think this is the message we all need to take. That, and she doesn't take a single pill, no hypertension, no diabetes. So she climbs 3 stairs. She doesn't have a lift in her apartment. So I would say that you must meet her.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Yes. So, ma'am, you spoke about how earthing is used in the technique. Now we know that the anti-inflammatory part of it works. And also, since the patients are carrying out this technique themselves, it increases their own receptivity and hence the effectiveness of the technique. Could you tell us a little more about how you've blended Ayurveda and yoga? They're such complete sciences. So how do you put them together?
So what happens, Ayurveda has this detox programs, the Panchakarma part. Many times patient is not able to give so much time. And some particular disorders, you can say related with the bones and the joints and the muscles are very well treated with this Kusum Modak method. So so internally we will give some Ayurvedic medicine, tell them some exercises, and if we use this Kusum Modak method, we see fantastic results. And sometimes we integrate like patra potli, the fermentation, some dhara, when there are many chronic patients coming, so they and sometimes people can't take this technique because it's a lot of pressure, so in the old age we don't know, the bone density is very low, so that time we take care with the Ayurvedic treatment.
Yes.
Always, so in a patient sometimes we can do both also, and the results are faster.
Yes.
Because that's the ultimate aim, that the patient should get cured. And so my father always said, you should ask for the fees when the patient doesn't need you. So that is the change we have to make. So many people, the sports people, they get so much benefited, the dancers, where body flexibility is needed, stamina is needed, so this technique works very well.
Fabulous, ma'am. So you've integrated this so well in your wellness center. Could you just tell us a little bit about how you put it into the clinic?
So all age groups we can do this, even men, women, like I said, the sports people, and even people. Always our body is connected with our mind. So sometimes the disorders originate in the body, it gets reflected in the mind. And sometimes in the mind and then reflects on the body. So we have to treat the body as the whole, body and the mind. So whenever we do this, both the Ayurveda and the Kusum Modak method, we can work on these aspects very well.
Yes.
Because when you give the session, so many people went out emotionally. They sometimes literally cry.
Oh, okay.
So all the emotions are also coming out. Then we do some counseling sessions. And the breathing is also important.
Right.
So as we know, the breathing is connected with the mind. So many people don't know how to breathe. So they don't breathe fully, they don't open their chest. So, and the body also tells you, sometimes the posture is this thing, the patient is mentally drained, and when you do the sessions, they get, revitalized. So that's the thing we actually see in the person. So, and it has to be repeated. Everything has to, like we do exercise every day. So similarly, this has to be done on a weekly basis, once in 15 days, according to the how chronic is the disorder.
Right. So ma'am, I really love the part where you spoke about how a disease can start in the mind and get manifested in the physical body. I think it's very relevant, especially in our generation. I mean, we're all under so much pressure, and it can, really negatively impact our mental well-being. Could you talk a little more about how, this technique can contribute to mental health? Like you spoke about de-addiction. Is there anything else you'd like to touch upon?
Yes, actually, like we have, according to Ayurveda, we have Vata, Pitta, Kapha. These are the doshas which govern our body. So in our mind, we have Sattva, Raja and Tama. So Sattva quality has to be increased. And Raja and Tama has to be balanced. They have to be diminished. So any healing modality has this thing. And Ayurveda says, whenever you want to heal a person, you should increase the sattva. So what is sattva quality? So sattva is sattvic food, the vegetarian food. Then we give these therapies. So it's a connection of our body, our breathing with the receiver's breathing. So when you experience this, that whenever, while giving the session also, the person feels a bit of pain.
Right.
Many times people shout with pain, but that gets released after a while. If you have this frozen shoulder and you don't lift it at all, it will get more stuck. But then you have to do some exercise, some movement, some fermentation, then it gets released. So while giving the session also, the body opens up and the circulation starts, and the mind also gets released from these negative emotions like Raja and Tama, and the Sattva increases. So we see wonderful results on, like, even people go to sleep after the session. They start snoring.
Oh, wow.
It is, so you can imagine. In sleep, our mind is totally relaxed. So after the session, and then we have to wake them up, and then it's over now. So that's it.
Ma'am, like you mentioned, yoga and Ayurveda is all about the interconnectedness of one individual self with the universe. And from what I heard, you guys are not just helping individuals, you're also helping communities. You know, you draw your inspiration from your father, who actually quit his job of being an engineer, moved the entire family to a village and provided them with equitable water rights. And it definitely runs in the family. I think our daughter Kalyani is an Ayurvedic doctor as well. Dr. Kalyani, would you like to join us? Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for this. It was truly a pleasure listening. I hope many more people come here and learn about this fabulous technique.
Yes, thank you.